Hi everyone. In this video, we're gonna take a look at Optimus Primal from the Beast Wars series. And this is actually introduced from Hasbro's War for Cybertron line. So I got this for 1,800 pesos, around $37. Before looking at him in robot mode, we're gonna take a look at the packaging first, then the beast mode. Here's the packaging. So we have some brandings here. We also see Optimus Primal in beast mode. And it says Kingdom, War for Cybertron Trilogy. So Kingdom is actually the third installment. Then on the side, we have the robot mode. And it says Voyager class here. Then here's the other side. So now we see the original Megatron and Optimus Prime. Then here's the back. So it says 22 steps for you to transform either way. Then nothing much on the bottom here. And for the top part, we see the Maximal logo. We also have a golden disc card here. So here's the shiny golden disc card. And what I got is the Autobot arc. And this card actually features a possible future. So this first layer is actually a sticker, so you just have to peel it off. And the next layer is also shiny. Now let's take a look at Optimus Primal in beast mode. Now here's the head. So we get a serious looking face here. And we get a fair amount of sculpting all over. So even the eyes, they're not just painted, but it's sculpted in a way that it gives a bulging or protruding effect. Mine has some cut issues here, but that's fine with me, it's not that noticeable. Then here are the sides. And actually we're missing the ears here. And I believe most of the gorillas do not have their ears covered. So even Optimus Primal himself in the actual series has his ears being shown. Then here's the rest of the head. Now looking at the rest of the body. For these shoulder pieces here, I wish Hasbro added some hair effect or sculpting. Because they bothered to add details here on the sides, as you can see. But not on this top part here, which is mostly shown. And these pieces here are the end parts of the blasters, which is in blue. So I might try to paint this in black, so that it would be consistently black all over during beast mode. Then here's the right arm. Then the sides. Here. Then the back. For the hands, we have a continuation of the hair here. And we have this rough skin effect, so that's nice. Here. Here's the other side. Then the palm area. We also have details on the nails. Then here's the left side. Here. Then the left hand. There is the upper body. So you can see some details on the chest and abs. Although mine has some paint chips here, but that's not an issue because they are tiny ones. Then the stomach or waist area. For the thighs, there's no hair or gorilla feature on this side. Here. But that's fine. This part here is mostly covered or not visible during beast mode. As you can see here. At an angle, we don't see the front of the thigh. So even when Optimus Primal is standing up, so we don't see the front side of the thighs, as you can see here. For the sides of the thigh, we now see the gorilla hair here. But this time, we also see the robot part here, the white and the red. So that's the same with the other side. So we see the gorilla hair here. And we see the white and red from the robot mode. And the back of the thigh is actually from the robot mode here. So it's covered by this part here. Now here are the legs and the feet. And we also have a fair amount of sculpting on the feet here. Then here are the sides. So you can now see the robot part here. So that's actually the feet of Optimus Primal during robot mode. Then here's the bottom part of the feet. Now here's the back part. For this end part here, I wish they made it larger or they added some extra folding parts here on the side so that it will cover the design for robot mode. So as you can see here, we have the white and red for the legs and silver for the hips of Optimus Primal during robot mode. So here, it's not properly covered during beast mode. Optimus Primal stands around 4 inches tall when he's on knuckle-walking position. And he is 5 inches in length. If we want to stand up Optimus Primal, there's a couple of transformation on the legs. We can just straighten them up like this. Here. Because it will look weird. So what you can do is in this position, move this part up, straighten the thighs in line with the body, and the other one, and then move the legs down, and then move it up. The main objective here is to remove this joint part from being attached to this red part here. Once it is done, move the legs down again, but this time supporting this joint part here. You need to put it in place. Like this. So you should have something like this. Then do it on the other side. Then move this part downward. And then now just position the arms, the hands, and the head. So there, Optimus Primal standing up. I'm not a fan of this standing up option, mainly because of the large gap here on the knee area. And we also don't have the furry look on the knees, as you can see here. They should have done something like this on the elbow area. And for the back, we now see a large portion of the robot mode here. If you really want to pose it like this in a standing position, and the knees also bothers you, what you can do is just cover it using the hands. Like this. And in this position, he stands around 5.5 inches. And here's Optimus Primal in a knuckle-walking position, alongside with Megatron. Then here's another scale when he's standing up. Now for the articulation, the head can look up and down. It can also turn sideways. And it can look left or right this far. Here. The shoulders can rotate 360. And with minimal effort, the shoulder can move up this much only. And if you do a step from the robot mode transformation, which is moving this up, like this, then you get a 90-degree angle movement on the shoulders. And again, for the shoulders, you can move it forward or backward this much. Here. We also have a bicep rotation, but just be conscious of not showing this robot design during beast mode. Then you can bend the elbows this much. For the hands, you can turn it 360. And you can open and close. Then we have a waist swivel. For the thighs, you can move it forward, but you need to move this crotch part first. Here. And then you can now move the thighs. You can also move it backwards. Here. Actually, you can move it farther, but that's weird already. Here. You can also do the split this wide. And when he is in upright position, you get a minimal knee movement, as you can see here. So you can barely bend the knee. And you can move the legs forward here, but that's not realistic anymore. And when he is in a knuckle-walking position, then we get a full bending movement on the knee. Here. And still we can move the legs forward, but it's just minimal. Here. Then you can move the legs, but this much only. For the feet, you can move it up or down, but this far only. Then we get an ankle articulation by this much. Then lastly, for the toes, you can bend it this far, but you can't move it up. Now let's transform him into robot mode. First is on the back, so you need to turn this one, like this. And you need to attach this peg here, on this hole here. Like this. For the legs, you need to straighten them down. Here, like this. So you need the peg here to be inserted on this hole here. Then let's do it on the other side. There. Then put these parts down. So you should hear a click. There. Next is to rotate this waist down 180 degrees. Here. Next is to open the back. So what I usually do is hold it on this part and then against the arms. Like this. And then pull this part. Then rotate the gorilla head 180 degrees and move it down. Then rotate this entire part 180 degrees as well. Like this. And before pushing this part back, we need to move the two blasters here outward. What I usually do is reach for the blasters using the sword. Like this. So here. Then we can now push this part in place. Here. Then rotate this part 180 degrees. Like this. Then we can now close the body. So there. Then just put the blasters in place. And last is to move the shoulder pads up. So there. So here's Optimus Primal in robot mode. And now, let's take a closer look. Now looking at the head closer, here, the sculpting is very nice on this robot mode. So you get some bits of design or details on every part. As you can see on the eyebrow area. Even the side of the eyes, here. So there's some sculpting there. The cheeks. And even the end part of the earpiece here. Even the paint application is great as well. As you can see on the eyes, so there are no paint smudges on it. Even the white paint. So far mine doesn't have any paint chips. I guess one minor issue here is the chin part. So I believe this should be pure white. So as you can see, they put some blue here. But still, that's fine. Then on the forehead, you get a metallic gray or silver. As you can see here. While for the earpiece, it's matte gray. Then here are the sides. The back. And the top. For the blasters, it's one shade of blue. And they have similar design on each side. So here. We also have some details here on the collar area. One issue I have here is the large gap, as you can see here, which is actually noticeable in most of the angles here. Then here's the chest. So the design is accurate with the series, so that's nice. And for the outline, we have this metallic blue, while the rest is in matte colors. For the shoulder pads, we've already seen this during the beast mode. But the good thing here is there are designs beneath it. As you can see here. Even the shoulders has design, so that's nice. Then for the biceps, half of it is in a robot design. I guess one issue is on the end of the spike here, so the red paint was not applied correctly. But still, that's fine with me. There was no transformation done on the forearm and hands, so this is the one we've seen earlier during beast mode. Then quickly going over on the left side, which has the same design as the right side. Here. Then here's the crotch area. So we get some designs all the way down to the side, so that's nice. Here. And mainly it's in silver color. But this time we have some paint smudges on the blue parts. Here. Then we get a ball hip joint here in blue. And still it has details, so that's nice. And mine now has some paint chips here when articulating the figure. Then here are the thighs. So now we have some paint tissues. As you can see here, there's an excess white paint on the fur area. Then some red paints here on the white area. Then here are the knees. So mine was not painted fully on the right knee, as you can see here. Then here are the legs and the feet. So still we get some great details here. But one issue I have here is the color of the feet and the rod. In the series, this should be in gray color. Even the rod itself, it should be in gray and red. For the sides and back, it's mainly the gorilla parts that we've seen earlier. Here. Then here's the bottom of the feet. Then here's the back, which is mainly the fur during the beast mode. Here. For the weapons, we have these two cyber blades with similar design. And looking at one closer, here, one minor issue I have is they should have made this silver or metallic gray. And they have this cut issue here, so they were not cut precisely. Optimus Primal can carry these blades using this peg here and inserting it here on the slot. Like this. Then doing it on the other side. Here. So here. Then here's Optimus Primal holding the blades. Then aside from the blasters that we've seen earlier, we also have some blasters here on the forearm. So you just need to press on this side. And now we have these additional blasters. So that's similar on the other side. And you can actually move it up or down. Then here's Optimus Primal using the blasters from his forearm. Now for the articulation, the head can look up this much, but it cannot look down. As you can see here. And it can look left or right. The blasters can move up this far and down this much. There are no changes with the articulation from the shoulders down to the hands and on the waist. So the shoulders can rotate 360. It can move up this far and down. It can also move forward or backward. Then we have bicep rotation. The elbows can bend this much. We have wrist rotation. Then the hands can open and close. And the waist. Now for the legs, it can now kick this far. Then it can move backward this far as well. So I don't really lock this part in place for better movement. Optimus Primal can split this wide during robot mode. For the thighs, you can move it left or right, as you can see here. But just be careful because it will paint chip your figure. For the knees, you can bend it this much using this joint here. You can also bend the knees using this joint here. And that would be this much. And I prefer this movement or articulation because it looks natural, as you can see here. And the knees can bend forward just a little bit. And again, you have the leg rotation that can move this much only. For the feet, it cannot move up if this rod is locked. But if you unlock it, here, then you can now move the feet up. But still, you cannot move it down. And still, you have ankle movement, regardless if this rod is locked, as you can see here. For the height, Optimus Primal stands around 6 inches in robot mode. And here's Optimus Primal's scale with Megatron in robot mode. And let me quickly show you how to transform him back to beast mode. So there. So overall, I really like this figure. The design and details, both on the beast mode and the robot mode, are really great. The flaws are acceptable for me, like the missing ears on the gorilla head, or the visible robot legs during beast mode. It also gives a nostalgic childhood feels, since I was watching Beast Wars way back. And that's it in this review. Thank you everyone for watching. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It will help this channel a lot. Let me know also in the comment section what do you think about this figure. So thanks again and see you on my next review. Bye!